Gardening can be a rewarding hobby, but it doesn't have to break the bank. With a little planning and creativity, you can grow a beautiful and productive garden without spending a fortune. Hey everyone, welcome back to a windy, sunshiny day over here in Zolton, Florida. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you, and if you are a returning subscriber, I want to welcome you. This wind is feeling so nice, guys. So, as you all just saw, those bottles sitting on those blocks against my wall. I was recently asked by Hazel, one of my very, very loyal subscribers, what I use them for. So today, because of her question, I want to share some garden hacks. Some of my best garden hacks that I have been using for some time now to save a lot of money in the garden. And first up, of course, I am going to be showing you the bottles that Miss Hazel was so curious about. All right, so let's get started. So these bottles right here, they're actually detergent bottles. I removed a few of them and I put them right here to show you exactly what they are used for. So these bottles, they're storing rainwater in them. So if I am working in this area and say for example my plants up there, they need to be watered, all I have to do is to come with another container and just catch some water right here to water my plants. And if I have a plant like right below these jugs, all I have to do is just to pump this little thing right here and the water will come right out to water my plant. And another thing the same soap jugs can be used for is a container to plant stuff in. So over a period of time, these parts of the bottle, they are going to get damaged. So what you can do is to cut off the top of the bottles and just make yourself a nice little container to plant some stuff in. Another thing you can do with the bottles, guys, you can cut off the sides of each bottle. Use a very sharp pointy knife to put a hole in the side of the jug or the bottle. You then use your scissors. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be using this knife because I think the knife is much easier to cut out the side of this bottle jug. Hey, look what's in here. Hey. All right, guys. So now that I have a side of the jug, I'm just going to okay. And now that I have it nice and even, I am then going to cut this piece of detergent bottle into some strips. All right, so after cutting the strips, I am going to be using these as markers in my garden. You can either stick it in a container this way, or if you prefer, you can go ahead and make some tips on them like this. So now you have like two type of markers, but I prefer to do it this way so the tip is easier to get down in a container than the scrape point. Whatever you prefer, guys, you can go ahead and do it. Now what I used to do originally when I started making these markers is to write directly on the plastic. So now what I started doing is to use a piece of tape. Oh well, this is too big. So I'll use a piece of tape, and then I will just write on the piece of tape. Say for example, I want to remember the date when I planted my sweet banana pepper. And I'll have my information on my marker, and I will just stick it in my pot and put it wherever I want to put it. All right, and since I have this jug right here in front of me, guys, I am going to take you over to where I have used some of these jugs for our next garden hack. All right, guys, so here are some of the same jugs I just showed you. I cut off the tops of them, put soil in it, and I use some zip ties to strap them on this trellis. And here I have my golden snap peas going in this one, and I have some more golden snap peas going in this one. You all remembered we sowed these pea seeds together on December 7th. Look at how big they're growing, guys. They are looking so nice. And I have some more over there that I'm going to be filling with some herbs or flowers sometime in the future. Here's two more that my scarlet gem snap peas is growing in as well. So I was heading back to show you another garden hack, guys, but I was passing my wheelbarrow with some water in it, and I just wanted to show you my watering jug that I bought from Walmart. It has been serving me for a good time now. It has some holes in it. It's breaking down, it's deteriorating. Sooner rather than later I might have to throw it out, but what you can actually do is to use a Arizona bottle with a handle like this, and you can fill your water in the Arizona bottle, and then you use it to water your plants. It actually serves the same purpose. The only difference is that it doesn't have the nozzle on it like this jug does. I took off the nozzle a few minutes ago. So here is the nozzle, guys. This is the only difference with this and that. So right here I have some honey bottles. I use a lot of honey because I do not drink sugar. So what you can do, guys, you can keep your honey bottles and fill them in water. Keep them in an area close to your garden. So if you come out and a plant, say a specific plant needs some water, like maybe my garlic or my carrots that is coming up, I can just use one of these bottles to water them, even my little beet plants, because sometimes you cannot use those big jugs with the big nozzles to pour a lot of water on your baby seedlings because they might be damaged. So you can repurpose your honey bottles, and you can also do this with your regular water bottles as well. Now in here I have a butter dish that I am using to scoop out water to water my garden as well. And you can also use these butter dishes, put some holes in the bottom, and you can plant your herbs or start your seeds in them. In this container here I have to cover my kale from those nasty pesky pests that is chewing on them. So what I use are some good old soda bottles. I just simply cut off the bottom of them. See, cut off the bottoms. I could actually keep the caps on, but I took them off because I wanted more air to get in to where the plants are, and I just use the bottles as mini greenhouses. Okay, and here are some other bottles that I use as well, the ocean spray bottles. I cut off the tops, use them as mini greenhouses, and I also use the bottom parts to grow stuff in. And this is how I am repurposing the bottom parts of those jugs. I made myself a green stalk using a tripod, an old tripod, and the bottom of the bottle. So if you have an old tripod, you can also make yourself a green stalk. And if you don't want to make a green stalk, you can actually turn the tripod upside down and you can use it as a trellis to grow your beans and peas on it. I recently showed you all this, but because I am doing the garden hack, I'm just going to show it to you again. So you can use your coffee creamer bottles on a post to make a stackable planter or a vertical grower, whatever you want to call it. If you have any 5-gallon buckets sitting idly at home, not doing anything, you can actually use them to store water in. And then you can also use the same jug as a stand for your flowers. Whenever you need water, you just take the flowers off, get inside your bucket, and you get your water to use. Another garden hack, guys, if you have any tiles laying around in your yard or your house, wherever, you can put them on top of old table or on top of a few pallets like this to make yourself a nice garden table. This way, the pallets is going to be preserved and will last for a longer time because the tiles actually protect them from the rainwater and the sun. Even though there's a little gap in between these two right here, that's not a lot. I believe it will just protect them for a very long time. If you have something like this in your household that you are about to throw out, if there's no hole in the bottom of it, because sometimes these aluminum containers, they do rust and will have holes in them, but this one doesn't have any hole. So you can put your smaller pots inside of it, fill it with water, so these containers can be watered from the bottom. You don't have to come out and water them on a daily basis. All right, up next, guys, if you have an old microwave that you were planning on throwing out, you might as well just keep it, guys, because here I am storing my gardening tools inside of it. So I have my glasses in here. I have my trowel, my scissors, knife. I just used my scissors. I have my rake. I have some gloves, my zip ties, my tape, more gloves, and these bags that I'm actually using on my little plants that is now fruiting to protect them. So this way, guys, if you are outside, you don't have to be running back and forth in your house or in your shed to get your tools. They are well protected in here from sunshine and rain. So if you have a old microwave, this is a great way to repurpose it in your garden. And if you even have an old mailbox, you can use it as well. And on top of it, guys, I have 3 beautiful flowers right here. So you're using the inside to store your stuff, and then you can use the top part of it to put your flowers. Sweet deal, right? So I was recently trying to take out this old stool of mine to show you guys what this looks like, but I'm just going to let it stay in there, and I'm going to put a pot down in this section right here. So right now I am currently using a piece of an old closet shelf on a stool with some zip tie And this is a flower pot holder, or you can use chicken wire around it, put some cardboard inside of it, fill it with soil, and then you can just plant something in it. If you have a big garden space, or not garden space, if you have a big backyard, guys, that can hold a bed head and a bed foot like this, you can just use it to design a real garden bed. This is what I call a real garden bed. The only thing that is missing is the mattress to lay on it. But you can use the top and the bottom, set it like this, fill it with soil, and plant whatever you want to plant in your garden bed. It's up to you. This is going to be my butterfly garden. So if you're operating a daycare, or if you have kids at home that have something like this, which is not being used anymore, you can repurpose it and use it for your garden gate. My grandson loves to play with this whenever he comes over. So all I did is to put this rod in here, drive it down in the ground, and then I have a very functional gate right here. I am using one here as well, but this one didn't have any holes on it. So all I did, I just put it in between these two posts right here. And the other parts of it, I put it around this tree right here to make a band or arch, whatever you want to call it. I fill in here with some dirt, and now I am using this area to propagate a lot of plants. So these plants that is in here right now, they are eventually going to be taken out and to be planted like other areas of my garden. So I just showed you the Arizona bottles that I was using to water the garden. But I actually have a lot of these that I would fill with rainwater, and I will keep them along this area of my garden. So whenever I come in this area, and if anything needs to be watered, I will just grab a jug of water and just water my garden. Or I'll just use all of the jugs here to water wherever I can water, and then I will refill it with rainwater. So I recently found this old garbage bin by the wayside. You can actually put holes in the bottom of it if you have one at home, and you can fill it with sticks, little rocks, leaves, and whatever you can find to fill it halfway up, and then you can also plant stuff in it. This is a little slider that belongs to my grandson. I don't even remember where I got this from, but you can actually use this. Let me show you exactly how I'm going to be setting this up. Well, you know what, guys? It didn't want to come out, so let me just show you. I am going to be using this slider as a stand. So I'm going to fill this with soil whenever I'm ready to plant, and I'm just going to put it on top of this right here in a nice area to just continue growing. So these are some crates, guys. I found these in West Palm Beach one day when my mom and we were coming from the store, and they were at the back of a store in the dump. And when I jumped out of the vehicle to get them, guys, everyone started laughing at me and said, "Girl, you're not easy." But guys, trust me, whenever I see things, I just see repurpose and saving money. And if I am not storing like these big containers on it here, let me show you another way how we can use it. So if I want to take these little pots to another location in my garden, I can put all of them in this. And look at this, guys. Easy, easy, easy peasy mobility to wherever I want to take them to. But for right now, they are going to be staying right here. On second thoughts, I think they look much better right here. Or should I put them on the air? Bottom line is, guys, easy mobility. Wherever you want to take them, you just enjoy the ride. This is also another platter that I had in my kitchen. It is now rusty, So I'm just using it to house these other containers. As I said, I will water from the bottom. And if you have anything like this, guys, you can also repurpose this in your garden by starting your seeds. You can put it in there, or you can store your tools and garden stuff that you have inside there. I think I have some, yeah, I have some containers done in here, and the bottle covers that I'm saving, and this, because sometimes I need some extra elevation, and these come out of my barrels that I'm using. And I almost forget, guys, you can also repurpose your water bottles. I think I did mention it. You can cut off the tops, and right now I have some pineapple heads in them, waiting for them to be rooted so I can plant them out. And of course, if you can access any 55-gallon drums, you can cut them in half like this, or you can cut them the other way to start growing stuff in them. So guys, the first time I showed you this trellis, I didn't tell you where I got the materials from, but I was actually coming home from work one day and I saw an old closet thrown in the trash, and I picked it up, took it home, and I have some irrigation pipes. So I cut the irrigation pipe and I added it to the old shelf thing, and I think I planted some, yes, I planted some snap peas down in here so they can actually trellis on this when the time comes. Guys, the list goes on and on and on, because right here I have an old skipping rope. You see this, guy? You see how strong the wind is? And my pigeon pea plant is even broken. So to prevent further damage from my pigeon pea plant, I use the skipping rope to tie it through this hole, and then I tied it on the plant to kind of pull it back and embrace it some more, to brace it back some more, that the plant will not be all over the place. Oh my gosh. And then I might eventually lose it. Jeez, you whiz. Guys, look at this. God is so amazing. Guys, I'm telling you, this wind is awesome. Although I think I might have to make some adjustments and pull this up some more. But this is something that you can also repurpose in your garden. And guys, the list goes on and on and on and on. You can repurpose your baskets, your buckets, whatever you have in your household, guys, that you are about to throw out. I didn't even remember this stand right here that I found. I don't even remember where I found it. And the basket inside of it, this is actually an old basket that we were using to store my grandson's toys in. And I took it out and I placed it in this stand right here. I think I'm going to be growing some beets or something in there when the time comes. All right, so that is going to be it for today's video, guys. I am pretty sure there are other things that I could have mentioned, like my trellis right here that I use a piece of lattice on top of it for my grape and my beans to grow on. And I also didn't remember to show you how, well, you all saw that when I was making this stand for my tomatoes over there with those sticks and my hairband. And you also saw the ace bucket that I found by the wayside that I use. There are so many resources around us, guys, that we can repurpose, reuse to save a whole lot of money. When I tell you that I'm frugal, I am capital letters F-R-U-G-A-L, frugal, when it comes to gardening. Because, I mean, I have other stuff that I need to spend money on, and if I can repurpose some of the things to save money, why not do it? So if this is something that you would actually do, guys, comment down below. What type of things have you used in your garden, repurpose, recycle to save money? Because this channel is all about sowing, growing, and saving money. All right, and this year, we are going to be gardening on a budget. All right. So, once again, if this is your first time joining me, this is the Glades Garden Girl over here in Zone 10A, Florida. I really and truly appreciate your company every single time you visit me. I appreciate you guys. You really don't know how much I do. As somebody would say, do it for the love and not for the like. also I am doing it for the love. All right, because I want persons who is gardening for the very first time to see how they can garden without breaking your bank or going too deep into your bills, the money that you put aside for your bills or to do something else. All right, so thanks again for watching, and I will see you soon in another video.